picture. I'm here.
I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pouring Takes with your hosts Charlie and Rayya. We are joined by our special guest Connie at our special location, Waters Edge Winery in Lake Highlands. Take it away, Charlie.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pouring Takes podcast. I'm Charlie Van.
I'm Rayya. That is the beautiful Connie. And we are here at Waters Edge Winery, which is a dream come true for me. I've been dying to do a winery on this show. Y'all get to see my wine side for real, outside of me drinking Underdog's wine every few weeks.
Connie, she's been ready to get wined up all week. She's excited. She's our wine expert here. And
Expert loosely.
Expert
Loosely.
consumer.
On the show, expert consumer. I am a newbie.
Wine
to
bong
wine.
for the lady.
I've done a champagne bong, and
Oh,
that was a lot of
nice.
fun.
Hell yeah.
I might be able to locate one here for you, so give me a second there.
Ooh, don't tempt her with a
Well,
great
yeah, I was going to say, it's only Tuesday, but hey, it's only Tuesday.
Hey, Thirsty Tuesday,
But
right?
thank you for having us here. You have this amazing spread for us, which we will get into. I'm obsessed with the layout of this place. I'm just so excited to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you guys to be here. Obviously, we love our friends at Underdog, and I'm glad that they let you steal you guys away from them for a weekend. But yeah, no, it's super exciting to also just be able to share our wine and our food with more people. So thank you guys so much.
Oh, you're good.
Go
Excited to
team.
be here.
Yeah, so let's talk about our weekends real quick in front of all this, just the beautiful things. I know.
It is very pretty.
I'm sure we all got into all kinds of shenanigans. I know I started my weekend at a wine bar in my
There you
neighborhood.
go.
So there's my
See, you were
my
already warming
connection.
up.
What about you guys? Connie, what did you do this weekend?
So for me, in my mind, I know it doesn't, but my weekend starts on Thursday. So I came here actually as a little pregame before I had kickball, which I mention only because if it wasn't for that crew and that group, I would never have met Tanner here.
Hey!
So they are very near and dear to my heart, whether I am seriously competing or not. So we were here before that, and I believe we may have come here afterwards, but I'm not 100% sure because
Nice.
I was not in charge of the schedule. And then, yeah, Friday also did the things before Saturday coming back here again. This is like one of my favorite places to work. All of the booths have like outlets, so I was like plugged in. I was shooting pictures of our food, shooting really dumb Instagram videos, and watching sports. Really, that's all I want to do on my weekends is just sit in front of a TV, yell a little bit with people with like minds. So very glad to be here with you guys. But
Oh,
what did you
boy.
guys do?
Well, you did the wine bar on Friday.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
My weekend also started Thursday.
That's right. You had a couple days off.
Yeah, so I just ran downstairs. I live on top of a wine bar, which is probably dangerous for someone like me. But
Oh, do you really?
well, it's not like, yeah, it's essentially 1 block away. It's fine.
Love that.
But yeah, so I started there, and then I don't even know what I did the rest of Thursday night. To be honest,
That means you had a really good time.
I'm sure we did some fun things. Steven, I don't know. Help me here.
Did you go to Trinity Groves or somewhere like that?
So that was Friday.
Oh, I mean on Friday. Yeah.
Friday, we went to free play at Trinity Groves. We were there for like 4 hours, and then we did one cocktail at St. Rocco's on the rooftop as the sun was setting. So it was really, really nice, really relaxing. And after that, just kind of, we were bouncing around. We were watching the Mavs game. That's what it was. The Mavs play-in game against the Grizzlies, which we can talk about later.
Do we have to?
What's your
If we have time.
What's your favorite free play game?
Okay, so we played this like ridiculous game from Japan.
Is it the one with the 3 buttons and it just yells at you every
Yes!
5 seconds?
How do you know?
I need to know more about this.
It's Bishibashi Reiki something. It's amazing.
Oh my God! So we were 4 friends. So we filled up the thing, and you basically are playing. We played 40 mini games because you're like working through like stages to win the tournament, and it's like elimination style. But obviously, it's free play, so you can keep restarting.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I'm not even kidding. We played this game for 90 minutes, and each of the mini games were so ridiculous. Like you had anything from like busting down a door to this. This guy, you have to use a feather to tickle his feet.
I played one where you had to apologize more severely than everybody else.
Yes, the bowing game.
The bowing game.
And like there's only 3 buttons. The whole game's in Japanese. You're basically just trying to figure out what's going on in order to be successful in this game. And the 4 of us just had the best time.
Oh, excellent game. I wish I knew the real name of it. Bishibashi,
He took a
I think
picture.
is-
Steven has a
Oh,
photo.
good.
Because Steven was like, I need this on my Nintendo Switch like yesterday.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was really fun. And then Saturday, Sunday, the main event, WrestleMania. We watched all of that, as well as Keeping Up with the Stars playoff games and the other NBA playoff games, which I don't know. Basketball is really just hard for me to watch now. I'm just over it. But
It is
I've heard that.
heartbreak.
That's been an ongoing, just talking to people. Like,
And-
I'm out of NBA.
I'm going to say something that's going to hurt your feelings. I did not enjoy WrestleMania compared to last year.
That
Last
didn't-
year was
that
my
didn't
first
hurt my
WrestleMania. This was
feelings.
my second one. It was like,
Yeah, well, we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But yeah, I had a pretty chilled weekend. Friday really didn't do much. I did watch that sad sack of a Mavs game. Saturday we had our Fortis MMA Inner Dojo,
I
by the way.
forgot
Inner
about
Dojo
that.
tournament, not Inner Tournament, by the way. Sorry, Safe. Inner Dojo, which was a lot of fun. Great to see a lot of the rising talent. A lot of good grappling, sparring. It was
let
a
me
lot of
ask you
fun.
this. There were a handful of people we knew who competed.
Yeah.
People we've known for like the last 5 to 10 years. How was that like being able to see them have their moment?
Yeah, it was good because I mean we've known them for a long time, but I've never seen them in action just because with tournaments people are spread out on their own time, and so
Or some just don't want to compete
Yeah,
in
some
tournaments
don't
and they
wanna-
just did this for fun.
exactly. But what better way in front of your peers and especially in front of we shout out Coach Safe. He's the best, and having his guidance. It was fun. It was super fun. They're gonna do it again. It's a party.
September.
Yep. So great food. And then I just chilled, watch nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. Of course, hung out with the family on Sunday for some Easter lunch. But
Oh,
it
nice.
was nice having just a low key weekend because we know I don't always do that.
I was gonna say you were missed at the WrestleMania parties. Everyone kept asking, when's Charlie getting here? And I'm like, oh, Charlie's somewhere else today.
Yeah.
It was different to not be with you.
I kept it very. I think my body needed it very
Yeah.
low key. Yeah,
That shit catches up with you, boy.
it does. It does. Probably why.
Happy 420. Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, 420 Easter and WrestleMania being on the same day just kind of felt crazy.
Isn't
Yeah.
it Earth Day today?
And today
Happy
is
Earth
Happy
Day.
Earth Day,
Yeah.
Captain Planet.
Thank you
That's
for
right.
the grapes.
Yes.
God bless you for the grapes, for sure.
All right. Well, it sounds like everyone had a great weekend, and so
We're going to get into some topics today. What we got on the docket today, Rhea?
So we got the NFL draft is this Thursday, which is a big day for all of us here in Cowboys Nation because we'll finally have a sense of what direction our team is going in. We've also got the Stars evening their playoff series last night against the awful, horrible team. I can't remember.
Colorado
Colorado.
Avalanche.
There we go.
I got you. I
Colorado.
got you.
completely
She got- thank
blanked.
you.
That was crazy. And then we can get into the Mavs stuff. We can get into WrestleMania stuff. But actually, I want to talk about what's on this table.
Yes, because it looks amazing. All
Like, I
of it.
can't stop staring at these pretzels. They're so beautifully folded.
So
Have
yeah,
we
so tell us
grammed
about
these?
the board.
Are they
yes.
grammable?
they are totally gram. They are already on the gram. Both Charlie and I have
Yeah.
had
Now
a
I want
moment.
to eat the gram.
Well, I appreciate you both for doing that. Please tag us at Waters Edge Winery _Dallas. What you have in front of you today, and honestly, like the color palette, like just looks really fun and nice together. We get the reds, the yellows, all of that. So what I ordered for you guys for today is a wine flight. So you can do your flights in 3s or 5s, but I was like, I feel like we deserve a wine flight of 5.
This is not a flight. This is a treat. This
Yeah.
is a wine treat. And I'm
It's
an
an experience. I feel like everything that this team here has curated is about the experience, making sure that you're trying things, you're enjoying it, and even like what can we do to make sure that you guys are taken care of, right? So I was like, give me the rosé, give me 2 whites, give me 2 reds, and additionally we need full glasses because that's
Yes.
not enough to suffice us for the hour. So
Yes, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Well, it looks like we're all drinking red. Connie, I want to ask you, what got you into wine, and do you have? Obviously, you're drinking red right now. Is that your strong preference? Like, tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got started with wine at a very early age compared to some people. I have family who's Italian. The drinking age in Texas is a lot lower than some other places, especially if your parents are the ones who are like, you got to try this.
That is true.
Legally speaking. But yeah, so we have been surrounded I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by good wine as well. So honestly, when I went to college, I was like, what do you mean it comes in a box? I had no idea.
Slap the bag.
Oh, goodness. No,
You know
thank
what?
you.
Same. I had no idea wine came in a box till college.
And then during COVID, everyone was super excited about the boxes of wine. So I'm not on that train. I cannot say that I know everything about wines, but I do know what I like and do know what I don't. So to answer your other question, I usually prefer some reds, but my palate really goes with the weather, right? So we're approaching summer. It feels way too hot outside already, even though it's only April. So I really like the lighter, crisper whites and the rosés right now. But especially
Team
when I move
Rosé,
inside.
by the way.
Rosé
There you
all
go,
day over here.
producer
That's
Tanner.
me, baby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then the best thing about being here is you
Chronically
can,
underrated.
yeah.
It's kind of like a neutral, right? Rosé's kind of like in the middle if you have a neutral
Yeah.
palate.
And even you're having the Sangiovese, and we have
Yes.
a Rosé Sangiovese back there that's fantastic that you should try after this.
I just love saying it, Sangiovese.
You feel so fancy, don't you?
That's
Does.
right.
It's fun.
Your
It's like
charisma
San
points go up like
Diego.
4.
What does that mean?
What's
San
a chari-
Diego? Oh. Best movie of all time. Anchorman.
It's an Anchorman.
Oh, I know. I was trying to get him
Yeah.
with the reference for the drinking part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
What are
Trying
you
to
drinking?
Trap you. So I and Rayya are both drinking the Tempranillo, and so one of the great things about being part of the Waters Edge franchise is that we have a couple different locations all across the U.S. The headquarters for Waters Edge is in California, but we also have sister wineries in different parts. So this one that we're drinking right here is actually from our sister winery in Oklahoma. So they were nice enough to share some of their beautifully crafted bottles with us. So I figured it'd be a nice treat for today.
Yes, I love it. And you and I were talking last week, and you were saying that they're going to start producing wine literally like in the plaza, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
so
awesome.
this is our lounge area that you see behind us. Our bistro is on the other side of that barrier. But then across the parking lot, we will have our event center and winemaking facilities. So actually, the officiant of Tanner's wedding, as well as our front of house sommelier, are going to be making our wine locally. And the reason why Kate chose this franchise is because we internationally source our grapes. So a couple of weeks ago, she got back from Armenia, trying out what they have to offer us. And so we'll see in a couple of months, when we start making our own wine here, what that tastes like. So you got to come back for that one.
Are you going to be in charge of naming things?
I don't know, but I have so far gotten approval for the things that I have named, but I'll at least at the very minimum get to design our wine labels. So really
Very
excited to work with
cool.
the team here and make sure that the wine labels that we have represent our team, our people, our wines, and everything they have to offer.
Man,
Amazing.
speaking of teams, you guys have TVs like everywhere here.
That's right.
For a wine bar, that is maybe my favorite feature. I can bring Charlotte here,
Yes,
and then we can actually watch a baseball game and drink what we want.
you can watch as many games as you want, my friend.
Oh, boy.
And honestly, if Charlotte's involved, yes, I'll give you all of them. But yeah, no,
Hear that, baby?
one of the things that we all feel very strongly about here is that we love sports. Myself, Kate, Alec, no matter who you're talking to, we all grew up with sports. We love watching it. You can find us like either sitting in front of the TV yelling at it, or you could probably hear some of us, wink, wink, Kate, from across the block yelling at a TV from where you are now.
Man, true.
Because that's just something that we care about. We're passionate about it. But as much as we love our sports bars, we can only eat nachos and drink Bud Light for so long. I don't know if I can say that. Sorry.
It's okay. They're not-
General light beers.
Do you wanna sponsor us,
I will
Bud Light
name them
Nacho?
all. We can only drink all of those beers for so long.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to have a nicer meal, some wine, and yell at your TV from a restaurant.
That's right. Elevate your experience, man.
I was going to say, this is also great for events in general. We're literally sitting on a stage right now. You guys have musicians come through, in
Yeah.
addition to the crazy amount of TVs in here.
Yeah, so every weekend we have live music, and we feel really, really strongly about supporting local artists, up-and-coming musicians, and making sure that they have a platform and are getting paid for their work, right? We want the talent not to go unnoticed. Supporting artists is very near and dear to Kate's heart as well. Her sister is a up-and-coming musician out in LA. She puts out music all the time. Follow her, Lauren Vidani. But yeah, so we want to make sure that they have a platform. And honestly, who doesn't love drinking wine and dancing around a little bit?
Sign me up.
That's me.
And sports on at the same time. Oh my gosh, this is my life, y'all.
Well, speaking of sports, speaking of wine, I know there's different foods that you can pair with wine, right? We got the NFL draft coming up Thursday. Obviously, we'll get into that here in a little bit. What wine for you would you pair for football? Like when you're watching a game, do you have a preference?
Oh, good question. You stole my question.
That is a really good question. So I would say for the draft specifically, I feel like it's a lot more chill and it's really good with all of our wines, honestly. We do this happy hour special where you can try a wine tasting and like a sample of all of our appetizers. So that is kind of what I like. I like to just pick and choose and mix and match, like kind of like the coaches are going to be doing, and hopefully they won't break your hearts. But then once your team drafts a player and you're like, why did they do that? I would recommend the biggest pour of the strongest wines that we have, and maybe even some of our mixed cocktails, because once your team drafts someone that you're like, why did we do that? You need another beverage on top of this.
That's us Cowboys over here.
Do you remember that PowerPoint party we went to? Were you there?
No, I was not.
Okay, so one of my girlfriends last year had a PowerPoint party, and she was like, it's on whatever topic you want it to be, but you're essentially getting drunk and doing a PowerPoint presentation for all your friends.
Sign me up for the next one of those.
And my PowerPoint is what sport pairs with what wine, like watching a sport. I don't even remember for the most part. I don't even know what I chose for football, but I said something along the lines of it's something that you got to be able to drink all day, and you can't get drunk like that. I think I chose one of the white wines. I think I chose like a Pinot Grigio because you start at 12.
The box.
Yeah, I could see that. Because that's something that a tailgate you would have.
But yeah, I said yeah, Pinot Grigio because you want to start at noon and you gotta make it to Sunday night football, and you can pace it out well. It's not gonna F you up too badly. But something for like UFC, I was like, that's on real late at night. Give me like a Cabernet and just call it a day. I'm just trying to chill. I'll get excited when the action starts, but like I'm going to bed immediately after that card ends.
That's fantastic. I'm just like, I need that PowerPoint, and maybe I'll present it at my next professional development workshop.
Oh my God, sounds good.
I want to ask you too, Connie, because here for a long time, or at least I'm going to say, I'll just go back like over the decade. You've seen the boom in the brewery industry here, somewhat in the cider industry, but you're starting to see some wineries and places like this pop up. What do you think the future looks like for wineries, especially here in the DFW area?
Yeah, I think one of the things about wines in the DFW area is people are like, Texas wine?
Yeah.
They tend to get a little bit confused about whether the quality is going to be good, whether it's going to be too fruity, whether we can grow grapes in the state of Texas. And yeah, we're starting to see a lot of that. One of the things, like I said, we're sourcing our grapes internationally, but we will eventually source from Texas. We have our headquarters in California. But I want to give a shout out also to Times 10 Cellars. Like, we're serving some of their wines. They've been a Dallas staple for about 20 years now, and they're doing it right. They're great people out there. And yeah, we're finding a lot more and more places that want to drink and serve wine. One of the barriers sometimes is not everybody likes wine, not everybody drinks it. So how can we make sure that we have other options for people? So we also have a whole selection of locally sourced beers as well on tap, supporting our local breweries, especially the ones that we've been supporting for years and years without the winery existing. So
that's right. We drank a lot of beer in a lot of places. Keep the hope alive, man.
Perfecting the craft.
That's right.
Do you have a wine that is like your favorite, like your go-to comfort wine?
Here or
in general?
In the realm of the world?
Give me both. Give me one here that you think everybody should try when they visit, and then what is your like go-to safe space wine?
Ooh. And I'm like, am I paying or somebody else? There's a big
Let's
question
say somebody's
Money
paying.
is not an object.
Yeah, or that.
Okay, so I'm going to say Silver Oak. Thanks, Dad. My family friends treated us to a lot of really nice wines when we were growing up, just all of that stuff, because it compares well with good conversation and good people, right? Mm-hmm. But here, honestly, I am on the goal of trying to have all of them and be able to recommend which ones I like, which ones go well with the food. But my favorites have been the reds, the Sangiovese, the Tempranos, because it's nice and calming and easy to drink. And I don't really know how to finish that sentence, but what about you guys? What are your favorites?
So like I said, I'm still fairly, new to the world of wine. I mean, I lean towards red, but I don't mind a white. I don't mind a rosé, but probably most of the time if I see a red, I mean, I'm usually going to do probably a Pinot Noir. That's like kind of my safe. But like I said, I'm still learning, so I'm open. I don't really have strong palate or strong enough palate to really make a decisive decision. But Pinot is like my safe go-to.
So right now I've been drinking a lot of Savvy B. I don't know why.
Your boy Savvy B.
Yeah, I love it so much. That's usually my go-to at my wine bar at home. So I get off work at like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, just give me the Savvy B, Chris. Just give it to me. But if I were to treat myself, I love the Pinot Noir from Belglas. It's the one with the waxy top. That stuff is good. Really, really good.
The waxy top really brings out the flavor.
I was going to say, it goes really, really great with a good steak. And that is my favorite thing in the world is a red wine and a great filet mignon.
Oh, bro.
Oh,
Seems
God.
like you know how to live.
I try really hard.
Matt did that shit over the weekend. I had grilled out some steaks.
Look at you, Tanner.
Oh, man.
Are you a
I was
ribeye or a
Mr.
T-bone?
Dad out there.
Mr. Dad.
What do you like, Tanner?
Are you looking to adopt some kids?
Nah, the whole neighborhood. You guys are my kids. Y'all are so precious.
This is
Just
true.
precious little angels.
Tanner, are you like? What do you like? What were they?
Well,
were like
right now
ribeye?
I'm drinking a little bubbly rosé.
Uh-huh.
It's a little sweet, but it's not too sweet. That's the important thing. During the day, I like bubbles. At night, I like a cab, usually, because I'm usually having it with dinner.
Yep.
You know?
It pairs really good with foods.
That's right. When somebody finally comes out with a THC wine, bro.
I was going to say, like, I noticed the increase in those non-alcoholic wines at this grocery store. I think there is a THC wine at Total
Good.
Wine.
I need to have it.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
somebody's tried it.
They're working on that stuff, but I do see a lot of that. Do you guys see yourselves carrying any of the, not the THC stuff, but the NA stuff?
Honestly, I am not the decider of that, but I would not be surprised. We have some incredible friends who have been very fortunate to get pregnant, some people who've decided that they just don't want to drink anymore and it's not for them. So I would not be surprised if we decided to venture in that direction because, like I said, Kate wants to make sure that there's always something for everybody, and if that's what people are wanting, she'll make sure that we can accommodate it.
That's awesome.
Dope.
I love. The first time I walked in here, I just immediately felt at home. Like I felt like, oh, this is truly a safe space. And whether you're sitting on the restaurant side or the lounge side or the deck in the back, it does feel like a wholesome, really relaxing, cool experience. And I told my girlfriends immediately, I was like, this is the spot. This is going to be the place that we are going to do things. We're going to be able to watch our sports in the summer. Well, got Paige coming to Dallas, so got to watch the WNBA games somewhere. Like I said, the draft is Thursday. We got playoffs for baseball, football, and hockey. Baseball season started. Football, basketball.
You got
Oh my gosh!
Wow,
You're a sports
speed-
personality.
I think
You are
according-
speeding through.
According to your own rules, I think you need to take a sip of wine.
Yeah.
I think I need
Yes,
to. I think I need to chug the rest of this wine for that one.
We agreed on the rules.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited about this. And honestly, like when we were first talking, I couldn't remember what I did this weekend because I was here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we even did a Sunday brunch. So I missed that one,
dude.
but that would have been 4 days in a row of just me being here. And I have no qualms about it. Like,
Yeah, how could
it's
you
a very
not?
comfortable place to be.
Definitely.
Dope.
So let's get into like the sports stuff.
Hell yeah!
Let's do it.
Dun 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 dun.
Let me
Sports.
reset my brain here. Let's start with the draft since you're wearing your Micah Parsons jersey. I've got my little Cowboys jacket on.
So we're ready.
We have faith.
Man, I've been
Or is
ready.
this a session of Cowboys therapy?
Ray could tell you I've been ready
Both.
since like mid-season last year because that's how bad last year was. And I was already, every day refreshing the mock drafts because that's how soon a lot of these drafts come out, but especially come January. And it's honestly, specifically for most teams, outside of like Cam Ward at number one, Titans, like it's all over the place right now. But especially for the Dallas Cowboys of 12, because for earlier in the draft, mock drafts, which really don't mean anything, but it's projections. Everyone thought Ashton Janty's going to be the guy. He's going to be there at 12. Well, as of late, everyone thinks now that Raiders have found, at least for right now, their QB, that he's going to be the guy there for them, or maybe he falls to the Bears, but definitely not 12. So where does that leave the Cowboys? For a while was defense, O-line, defense. But
Everything.
in the past, yeah,
Scrabble, give me a mixed bag.
But as of late, in the past month, it's been receiver. It's been either Tedder or McMillan. And as of late, it's been Matthew Golden, especially after his visit with Jerry Jones, that he's been on most mock drafts. So it's very you never know, because we always think one thing and they go the complete opposite. This feels to me, though, like the 2020 draft, where we were looking defense and we went CD, best player available. And I think especially with Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach, obviously he's been on the team, but how he runs things, you want to help him out. I mean, I think whether you go defense or offense, everything's a need, not a best of value, in my opinion, right now. But they've made some interesting free agency choices where it feels like they're pushing one way, but you never know. But I'm just going to read this before we get into it, not to hog it. You know how fired up I am, but about this. But Jane Slater, who's big-time Cowboys insider, she usually has the pulse on the things. She said, what are the Cowboys leaning this year? Here are the 3 names I'm hearing and keep an eye on is Ole Miss, Walter Nolan, which has been a pick before, and then Tennessee edge James Pierce, and then Matthew Golden, who has been, by the way, NFL comparison to a Chris Olave, and also I think Santana Moss too. I've seen that.
Oh, that's a name I
Santana
haven't heard
Moss.
in a long time.
So, but who knows? Because we don't know what other teams are gonna do. So, Ray, well, I'll ask, but no, let me start with you, Connie. You're a Cowboys fan.
I am, yes.
Okay, so obviously disappointing season. We're coming in the draft. You're on the clock. We're 12, unless we drop back, which could be a possibility. But if we don't,
Or be crazy and trade up.
yeah, it does. I mean,
I
we'll see, but it
doubt
does. And we've already made.
But every time we say something's not going to happen.
Let's say we don't trade
Could
back.
happen.
We're on 12. Where are you going?
Oh, goodness. I'm like,
It's okay not to know if you do know a player, if you don't, or position.
I want a wide receiver. I
Yeah.
don't care who it is. I want a wide receiver, and I'm really hoping, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to, but like, I'm really hoping that Jerry Jones learns from Nico's mistakes and just give the people what they want.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
Well, he said today, I think it was today, it was like, it wasn't the RB situation that was the problem, it was the O-line. I'm like, stop it, Jerry. Stop it right now.
Right? Well, he doesn't know anything about football anymore.
Why are all these GMs like more delusional than teenage girls? Like,
Nobody tells him no. They fire anybody that says no.
And I'm just
you know
going
what? Nobody tells teenage girls no either.
I'm going to say.
Have you seen those Sephora videos?
Yeah.
Their eyes, when your eyes are that big and you're looking out like, oh yeah, we'll give you the world. It's okay.
Okay, so wide receiver. So you're on the wide receiver page.
I am,
okay.
yes.
Rayya, you're on the clock 12. We don't trade back.
I actually might roll with an offensive lineman or a D lineman. I like that edge pick as well. I do think we need a lot more aggression and tenacity up front if we're going to get anywhere close to scoring points. It doesn't make sense if you have an amazing wide receiver or two, an amazing running back or two, if you can't have the right blocking and the right protection for Dak. Remember, Dak's hamstring tore off his bone. We don't have his mobility, essentially. We don't know how many games this man is going to play. And you need to protect him, and that's why my heart says O-line.
I'm with you. I'm going wide receiver. Here's the reason why. I normally don't deep dive so obsessively with drafts and tape. And look, nobody knows who's going to blossom into what. I mean, Amon St. Brown, 4th round. Like, you don't really 100% know. But what I know is what we have right now, and we didn't make any wide receiver moves for number 2. And Rayya, I'll ask both of you this. Confidently, who can you say is wide receiver 2 right now on this chart right now in this wide receiver room with the Cowboys?
Like, who's the current wide receiver
That
2?
you confidently feel comfortable.
I mean, between the Jalen's, sure.
I don't think any of them are 2.
But we made that trade for Mingo.
I know. I think there's a lot of guys that could be 3 or 4. I think.
Or you
do
say your wide receiver 2 is Fergie, who's a tight end.
No, I'll say this: Fergie has a big year, make or break for him. I think we need a big body down the field. Could have got one.
do.
We didn't do it. Ted Miller, who's been compared to a Drake London, Mike Evans, he is a big body. Matthew Golden is a big body. Amika Buka is a guy that you could probably get, but you probably better drop down for. He's been compared to like Jackson Smith and Jimba, or Amon St. Brown. But I'm going to say I've been watching a lot of these guys that may fall there in the 2nd, 3rd. I see wide receiver 3 right now for a lot of them. And so that's okay, but that doesn't help and give Dak weapons. I do agree with the production, but we just drafted Guyton. I know he's a little bit more green, but I don't I don't feel really great about a lot of these veteran O-line just to say that that's going to be. We need weapons. We always fall short of that. And CD's a lone guy, and what happens if he goes down? We saw that. So
it doesn't matter if CD goes down if Dak can't get him the ball anyway.
Real
That's what
talk.
I'm nervous about. That is what I'm nervous about. As we were going down the stretch at the end of last season, even without Dak, with Cooper Rush at the helm, I said, how the F are we going to score points if we can't even move the football?
But they also did pick up a 15-year veteran, and so they've had a couple of veterans.
Vinny
We'll see what happens. And honestly,
bring back Tony Romo.
I'm going to say, you know who had a decent – I'm not saying he is the guy. Like, here's my thing. If you're going O-line, you better give me the best guy who, by the way, most likely won't be there. I don't want the third best guy. I want the best guy.
Fair.
And so you're probably not going to get Armando Mimbo. You're probably not going to get Will Kimber. And most likely Calvin Boots are not going to be there. So if they're not, I don't want to just any. I agree. But I also think they do believe a lot in Brock Hoffman. He did show a lot. After Dak went down, he wasn't there. So we'll see. I still want some weapons, but it's been a dice roll for us. So we'll see.
Let me ask you the other question that's been floating around.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do with the quarterback situation? As I've already said, Dak coming back from a very, very serious injury. We don't know what to expect. Cooper Rush signing with the Baltimore Ravens. Us making the trade for Joe Milton. Do you expect them to do anything else in this draft or in this offseason to populate that QB room?
I mean, I think right now it seems like Joe Milton is the guy that they really feel confident in and being behind. Who knows who's going to happen behind that? It is Will Greer, who was on the practice squad, who we've had briefly in the 2023 before we brought Trey Lance. Honestly, I'm still looking at a quarterback late round and have him compete to develop, because now you're not pressured to rush a guy in there. You got Milton. I'm high on Milton. I mean, just based on his athleticism, we'll see what he becomes. Is he the future? We don't know, but he's a guy I feel confident that if that goes down, he's going to win you some games just because of that.
Yeah, and I'm a big give me more information person, so I'm like, let's see how this summer goes. Let's see how this preseason games go. But I feel like that hopefully gives him enough confidence with the team to keep working and practicing and building those relationships, because if you don't have the relationships, those connections are not going to play through the way you want to see them.
Yeah, and we interviewed the University of Memphis, Seth Hennigan, I believe. He just did Gruden's special quarterback. That's a guy that could be there in the late rounds. That's a guy that's green, that you can develop. I mean, I don't know his whole IQ test, but that's a guy that could be there. So I wouldn't rule out them still taking a quarterback late round and have them and Will Greer kind of figure it out.
I'm not opposed.
What are they going to do at defense? I know Trayvon kind of messed up his rehab some way, somehow, so he's going to be out again extended time. Deron Bland, we got to see him a little bit towards the end of the season, so he should be back at full strength. Jordan Lewis now plays for another team. Secondary is definitely in flux. I don't even know what the situation with the safeties are. I think they're both off the books, right?
Yeah.
So we have essentially no secondary. What about that? How do we address that?
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting how the rounds go. Now, going back to the first round, it's funny. Every other year we've gone every other side of the ball, which is funny pattern. We're not consistent in that. So that would say we would go defense. Okay. Say you want to address that. If Will Johnson is there at 12, I'm perfectly fine. I think he's one of the better CBs in this whole draft. He's probably CB1 right now, outside of the Kentucky wide receiver, I would say. We've talked to Mikael Williams. I like Mikael Williams. He's the edge, but still he's one of those guys that can complement, I think, Micah, along with, we also have interviewed Shamar Stewart. However, there is a guy on mock drafts, Shimon Turner, who is a defensive lineman that I looked. I mean, he's got like 7 ratings in his combine, so definitely, what you may expect in a third round. But I mean, Overshawn came in the third round. We've seen a lot. I've said we've seen historically more success in our defense in the later rounds than we have in that first round outside of Micah.
That's fair.
So, I mean, it's hard to say, but I think you're going to see that. I think in the first 3 rounds, you're going to see a receiver, you're going to see a running back, and you're going to see defense. What order? Well, you're probably not going to see running back first round.
Okay.
But
you, Penn State alum, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Loves
Hi.
Micah Parsons. So I have my conspiracy theory. This is normally Tanner's bit, but
It's true.
This is me. I feel like with 1 year left on Micah Parsons' current contract and them working on that extension that seems to be going nowhere, or they'll sign it right before week 1 like they did with Dak and CD last year.
Hours.
I think it would make the most sense to trade him for more assets. How does that make you feel?
Not great.
Yeah.
I will say, though, like, he is still early in his career with the Cowboys. We've seen some Penn Staters come to the Cowboys and try to give as much of their time as they can, like Sean Lee, Connor McGovern. They've done their best here, and they work through it, and they try to figure out what works for them. So I don't think he will break my heart. But then again, I love sports, and I watch sports, and 20-year-old, 25-year-old men are always breaking my heart. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. But I hope that this is a conspiracy theory that we are wrong about.
I think we will be. We know Jerry pays his guys just way late. Thank you, Jerry.
Living for the drama.
Although if you give me Abdul Carter, if you can make that trade up, I'll take that.
Ooh, interesting.
Even though I bought these 2 jerseys. I think that's more of my heartbreaking thing is the price of the jersey.
This is why I don't buy jerseys. I don't invest in jerseys.
I think they will.
You got to get the bootlegs that have your name on them.
We know they're going to pay him in
Or get 'em
camp, so
blank.
we're all talking about the Cowboys. This is how Jerry does all the time. But all right, so you're going O-line. We're both going wide receiver, so we will see what happens. But
It's going to be quarterback.
yes.
Shador Sanders, right?
That's
Like I
right.
said, give the people what they
It's
want.
funny.
That's
He's slipping.
right.
He's slipping in some.
His stock is taking a major hit right now.
But
That's
he could be
good
a
for the
Saint.
Cowboys. We
But he
always
did
make
get his
stupid
jersey
decisions
retired
like
at
that.
Colorado.
Oh my! Him and Travis Hunter.
Yes, stupid decisions. So
That's
sorry.
right.
Well-
we always do stupid shit. What are you talking about? You
Ray-
guys Cowboys fans? Listen at you. Like you don't know what
For
a
better, for
freaking
worse.
topsy-turvy
He's been on the Sanders
Judge Roy
kick for a
scream
long-
this whole shit has been
for a long
25
time.
years.
Yeah, so right after we fired our coach, this one started
Dion.
immediately saying Dion's coming.
Oh, Dion,
Oh, I've
here he
heard it.
comes.
I've heard him say it.
6 weeks of Dion is coming. It's happening, guys. It's happening.
It's going to happen.
So, 3 of us did not go defense first round. So, free agency, there's still moves to be made, especially post-draft. There's some guys that are going to be possibly available. If you look, Yair Alexander is a possibility that is on the market.
Yair?
Did I say Yair? Jair Alexander. Sorry,
I was like, wait.
Yeah. I'm thinking UFC.
Jaeger Alexander, is
I'm
that right?
thinking UFC all the time.
Pantera?
Jair Alexander. There's Jalen Hyatt. Well, he's not defense, but he's on there. There's a couple of defense, not as much, but Jair is a big name that is on there. So
You need to drink for that.
yeah, I know.
Throw your hands in the air.
I felt like I had that. See, I'm so newbie on wine. It gets me. It goes right to the head.
I know. I finished mine really fast.
Everybody
Well,
who
you
you
got a
say.
flight there to try from. So.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be hitting the
So,
flight.
how do you feel about still testing those waters, defense, free agency?
Do we even have money? Or
Uh,
are we still in cap hell? Do we have the money to spend to sign somebody in that echelon of players?
Jerry, sell
worth
that yacht.
signing? Or
Man.
pay the luxury tax, man.
Honestly, you got the money. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, obviously, Alex. I saw that. I was like, yeah, there's no way we're paying that. So I think some of the guys they're going to be available.
You know who they're going to do? What's going to happen? They're going to bring back Stephon Gilmore.
So I saw kind of that buzzing.
That's what's gonna
I saw
happen.
that buzzing. Honestly, I'm not terribly mad at that. But if we could get a stud CB in the draft for sure. But I'll tell you what, when Diggs went down a year ago, like that was the guy that stepped up the most. And I think just already knowing. I mean, obviously time gets
I was
everybody.
going to say it's been 2 years.
But I'll say, yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, what else do we got on the other side of Bland right now? You know, we got rid of Jordan Lewis. I mean, I just feel like there's nothing really there if you don't
our
go get a
defense is
stub.
going to be so bland.
It might, yes. Drink. She's been waiting. Man, you already finished.
Connie, which one do I do? Which one of the flight should I drink?
I think you should start at the top. Try the rosé.
Yeah.
That's the one that
Nailed
Tanner
it.
was drinking, and see how you feel about
Well,
that.
that wasn't a rosé pun.
Because if you like that, I want to have you try after this the rosé Sangiovese that we got back there. I just tried it earlier.
Nice.
It's very nice for the summer.
And I'm excited to have a wine break.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I got it, because it's rocking, dude.
Oh, wow. It's very refreshing.
Let's see who else. There's
I
several.
normally go for like drier rosés. So Really
That's what I was telling Tanner. I usually do as well, but it surprised me as an option. So.
It's a little just a touch of sweet.
Oh, it's definitely
not-
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not like, sometimes. Now, I know we talked about Texas wines. Traditionally, Texas wines have been super sweet, ridiculously sweet. But I have
Agreed.
not experienced that here. Everything's been very tasteful.
yeah, I think the imported grapes really make a big difference on that, and just being able to try honestly, the different types of things that grow in different areas. Like we've got Italy, we've got France, we got Armenia, which I didn't even know was a thing. Well,
That's
I knew
amazing.
it was a place, to clarify,
But not a
didn't
wine
know that we were
place.
getting grapes from there. So as I'm here, I'm just constantly learning so much more, and we're really lucky to have a front of house, a manager who's a sommelier, who's a wine judge, who's also willing to take the time to teach all of us about the wines as we go. So we do wine tastings with commentary by him on Wednesdays and Sundays. So if you
Sign
want to
me
come
up.
back on Sunday, hang out with
Sign
me, learn more.
up. Oh my gosh.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Sunday fun day.
That's right up my alley.
So yeah, the draft this Thursday. So we'll see. We never know.
Is there a team that you think is going to pull a fast one on us? Kind of like how last year Atlanta went with the big Penix energy out of nowhere, it felt like, after signing Kirk Cousins to that insane contract. Is there a team maybe in like the top 5 to 10 range that you think is going to really mess up the order of operations for
I think
everybody
there's
else?
a team further back. I believe 20 or 21. I could be messing up. I think, once again, a team that could shock us again, shock everybody, is Denver Broncos, what they're going to do. They need a run game. So for anybody in the Ashton Janty sweepstakes, they can go after him, move up. I think the Broncos, and it's going to be really interesting to see with the Saints, because we now know that Derek Carr is probably going to miss this season.
Yep, the season.
So, and I know a lot of the mock drafts had them
What's
going
wrong with Derek
defense.
Carr?
Shoulder injury.
Shoulder.
Oh,
So
man.
he's
You
been
sound
linked
so
to Shador.
disappointed.
He's
I'm
been
so
linked.
sorry.
Sucks.
Sorry, Tanner. He's been linked to Shador because right now all they have is Spencer Rattler. So do with that what you may. But they were a defensive.
I mean, all the best
lock.
Cowboys go to the Saints and win a Super Bowl anyway.
So
Yikes.
yeah, I think the Broncos are the Saints. It's going to be interesting in what the Saints do, because right now they're in a bit of a pickle. They need help everywhere.
What happens to Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter?
It looks like he is going to be he's going to go to the Browns. It looks like as
And
of
will
right
he
now.
get to be a corner and a wide receiver, or will they push him in one direction?
He's going to
or
be
the
a
other?
corner, a wide receiver, a quarterback. Because who is their quarterback next? I mean, Joe Flacco's back. I get that, but like,
Did they re-sign Flacco?
yeah, Flacco
Oh my
is
God.
back.
Joe Flacco.
Flacco and Kenny Pickett.
The way you're talking makes it like you think he's gonna kick next too.
He might. You know what?
I thought they would put him in as a kick returner or a punt returner.
Oh, that's the most brutal position.
It's going to
in
be the
football.
Cleveland Hunters. That's what it's going to be.
Travis Hunter and the Cleveland Browns.
It's like when you create a character
Honestly,
on
it's
old
kind of a better
Madden.
name.
It is.
You just make the same guy for every position.
Oh
That's
my
good.
goodness.
Which means I think Abdul will drop down to the Giants, so we'll have to probably face him twice this season. It's okay. They don't have a quarterback or anything either on that side. So.
All right, I got a question for Connie because I've already asked you
Yes.
this question. Being a Cowboys fan and seeing the success of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and now you're getting to see the New York Giants take advantage of drafting new players, getting younger, getting stronger. How do you feel as a Cowboys fan to see all of these other teams trending upwards while we have no direction?
I hate it, but I feel like we did this to ourselves, right? We kind of left ourselves in this spot where it's like, oh, we're America's team. We'll be fine. Everyone will love us no matter what we do. No, that's not how it works. You actually need to work the game. You need to work the players. You need to work the system in general and make sure that you're still producing at a really high level. It's not going to get handed to us. We got to go out there and earn it, and we can't let, especially the NFC East, take it away from us.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
Man, that just gets me fired up.
We draft a punter to provide anger.
Yeah, Anger's going to retire in the next couple of years for sure. He's getting up there in age.
Who did that? Who drafted a punter? Like, it might have been longer than several years
Did
ago.
we pick up Vanderjack? Some bullshit?
No,
like
that was after his.
Was that the
Colts
year,
bomb.
Was that the punter from Australia that we randomly drafted? Was that what you're
Well,
talking
we didn't
about?
draft it. No, somebody drafted
Oh,
a
the
punter
rugby
first
guy?
round.
McBride.
I forgot who it is, but I'll figure it out. But that's funny.
What is the one thing in this draft that the Cowboys if the Cowboys did, you'd be like, F this. I quit all over again. My heart is broken. What would really hurt your feelings?
Not pick Shador.
Shut up.
Trading their current spot of the draft pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I wouldn't be surprised about that.
What happens if they trade Micah Parsons and then move up into the top 5?
That's what the wine is for. We talked about this. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, I mean, once again, if you could get a deal, but that's just not what the Cowboys do.
Hey, speaking of wine, pass me something back.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
well,
want?
you want to try the rosé?
He already had
I
the
had
Okay.
rosé.
Okay, so I'm going to hit you with a curveball. Can you hand me this first one, please?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. I
Watch
like
out.
curves.
I almost threw a
So-
curveball right there.
I'm a big fan of
This
curves.
one comes with a warning, okay?
Okay.
So this is our Queensway wine.
So
and
does
it's
Tanner.
Oh,
barrel
perfect.
aged. It's an aged wine, so it definitely has more of an alcoholic punch than a normal wine would. So
Okay.
let me know what you think. But
Let's
if
get
you-
fucked up.
The thing is, if you don't expect it, it's gonna hit you hard, right?
You can smell it, dude.
Yeah.
It smells
It's
like
be-
a shot.
It's because it's been aged, right? So, best of luck. Have fun.
How's it taste?
You know what? It tastes like it's very juicy. Maybe like an apple or pear.
Ooh.
It's very tasty. I could do that for sure. Maybe a little almost like herbal. Just a little bit in there. Oh boy, how exciting! And drinking fortified wine makes me feel like a Game of Thrones,
We just need the goblet.
right?
Let me try that.
And
It's-
Charlie, with your palate, tell us what color does it taste like?
What color?
Which NFL team does
Snozberg.
it taste like?
Which NFL team does it taste like? To me, that tastes like
you
it's
know
not
what?
the NFL, but it tastes like the Padres.
So it
Okay.
tastes like San Diego.
Yeah.
It tastes like the LA Rams. And here's the reason. LA
Hey, we got
Rams.
two
Here's the
Californias.
reason. It is smooth, in my opinion. It is a lot of fun, which I feel like the Rams are. They're a lot of fun. They can be smooth. I know they have the most sexy coach alive. I know. I'm just throwing
Sean
that out.
McVay.
It's not Mike McDaniel. What are you talking about?
Choose your fighter, Sean McVay or Mike
Um,
McDaniel.
Yeah, I would
'Cause
say.
both.
Oh, give me
Have you
McDaniel.
tried? I would say the LA Rams right there for me.
That joke killed Steven.
That's his favorite head coach of all time.
Steven
Oh,
loves Mikey
boy.
McDicks.
But yeah,
Honestly, he's made the Dolphins more entertaining to watch, so I'm in.
For sure.
Greatest show on surf. Actually, you could call this the Miami Dolphins, not this past season, but the season before when they were scoring all those points.
Yeah.
Not
That's
this
what that
last
is.
season where everyone was hurt and they were on their third string for every position. Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
it's a regardless summer at the pool, chilling. I feel like
You should try the rosé too.
all right. Well, I will.
The
do
rosé
that.
is excellent pool
All
weather.
right, what team is this?
Yeah, what team is this, Charlie?
That's the Dolphins for sure. Or maybe you want to get raunchy and be like
Commanders.
Tampa Bay.
What about Jacksonville?
It's the Commanders right now. These Commanders. So I feel they're up and coming. It's neutral. Everybody's been rooting for it lately.
Honestly,
I like
you can
it.
combine the colors of their uniform. It probably makes that anyways. So
Yeah, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more Commanders fans coming in this next
The
season. after
owner's
last year.
creeping around the backside here.
Hi.
Um,
Let's do this. Let's sample the rest of these, and then we'll switch into hockey, and you can come and do hockey with us. Does that sound good?
oh yeah, Kate's got a lot to say about hockey. So
yeah.
There we go.
I'm ready.
That's the kind of
ready.
HSOs we need over here.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see if she joins us.
yeah. So one of the
We're
really
armed and ready for her if she's ready.
Yeah, one of the really fun things about this winery too is Kate is from St. Louis, diehard St. Louis Blues fan, and like I said, you can hear from the next bar over when she gets fired up about about her teams. But her husband is from Texas, is a Cowboys fan, so we get to watch them fight a couple times a year, whether it's the Blues playing the Stars or the Packers playing the Cowboys, because that's her football team specifically. But yeah, so we always have both sets of those games on. We've been meeting a lot of people from the Midwest, and honestly, that whole palette comes into the foods that we have. We got T-Ravs on the menu. We got a fondue made with some Provel cheese, and it's all Kate inspired, so it's always really fun.
And she's getting mic'd up now.
Heck yeah, I'm ready for some hot.
There we go.
I did warn Tanner that he might need to turn the volume down on her mic if she gets really excited here for a second.
Kate, hold the mic closer to your
We love the passion,
There you
though.
go.
We
Yeah,
love the
rough night
passion.
of hockey last night if you're a Blues fan. Like, it's been hard to watch. I don't know
2-1
about
game,
y'all,
man.
But it's been,
I was thinking of you.
it was I
We
didn't know this, but like the Shen brothers are playing each other right now. I don't know if anybody knows that, but there is an older. We have had Braden Shen for a while now, and there is an older Shen whose name is Luke, who I did not know about.
Luke.
Baby
And,
Luke.
Yeah.
We have a guy that comes on the show every now and then. He's from St. Louis.
And
he
he's a
played
big
at
Blues
Wash
fan.
U. Yeah, Luke Parrott. Shout out Luke. Always big Blues fan. So.
Yeah. Well, there is a Luke Shen who is brothers of Braden. So.
Get close to that mic.
Oh, weird. Okay, if anyone's watching this series, you would have seen this last night. But like on average, the Blues are at like 24 hits, and Winnipeg is not a heavy hitting team, right? Like they're just under 20. They were at like 33, 34, like 3 minutes into the second period, and I swear 8 of them were Luke Shen targeting his brother and like just slaughtering him. It was like heartbreaking, but then he did get a good one in later in the third period, so that was kind of nice to see because then Braden flattens him later. But anyway, it was a rough night. It's rough to be a Blues fan right now. Like we have obviously have a history of making the playoffs and then not finishing.
Not when you play us, though.
Yeah, you shattered our dreams before.
We have. There was
2019.
My sister actually caught a puck at that game.
Really? That's awesome.
Like one-handed caught a puck. It was really cool.
I was at
but
that game 7, and
Yeah.
I was hysterical. It was not great.
Yeah, it was, but also it was St. Louis's time, right? Dallas has the Cowboys. Y'all have a million other teams, right? Like you guys have a lot of other places you can go when like your one sport isn't going great. If like the Blues aren't doing well, or the Cardinals are down, like we're just a sad city.
I heard though that you're a Packers fan.
That's
How-
mostly out of our hate for the Chicago
Yeah.
just world in general.
How did that
right?
become? Were you not a Rams? Growing up Rams.
You know, it's kind of funny. So if you ask like most people from St. Louis, the Rams are hard because Stan Kroenke owned the Rams.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows anything about it, he kind of he didn't make some great decisions to support the city. So I think, right, the greatest show on turf was amazing, right? You had Isaac Bruce, you had Marshall Faulk, you had Kurt Warner. It was a blast to watch, right? I mean, you had so many amazing names that are Hall of Famers, and it was so much fun to watch. But like the ownership was just so bad to St. Louis as a city. It was really hard, and as a city, we love to kind of give Chicago trouble. So obviously the Blues-Blackhawks rivalry, Cards-Cubs, and then the Bears and the Packers naturally was kind of just a fun bandwagon to hop on. So I would say I'm a little bit of a bandwagoner as much as I make fun of my husband sometimes in Dallas for being a bandwagon city. Although I will say hockey, I feel like is really catching on now. I don't know if y'all feel the same way. But
Oh, for sure.
We've been talking about it, and specifically with the Mavs trading Luka.
Yes.
The Mavericks, the Stores PR team, the
Yes.
marketing team, really just went out there and were like, well, you can be fans of our team. We will
and people
take
are
you.
totally, I feel like catching, like it's like actually working. Like I know people that are like diehard Mavs fans for their whole lives, and like we're Stars fans now. Like,
Yeah,
I mean-
the groups barely overlapped. Like I'm a big time Dallas sports fan, and I'd go to Mavs games, and I'd go to Stars games, and you're like, these are two completely different sets of people.
oh,
And now you've got everybody under one roof. The whole city's excited.
Yeah.
Thank God we won last night. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think had we taken 2 losses at home,
Shout
I
out
think it
to
would have been the
Blackwell.
end.
y'all actually
big
have been
OT
playing
goal.
pretty well on the road, though. I mean, like I will give you guys
Okay, but-
credit. Like even Chris and I were talking about it last night. Like even if you had gone down 2-0, like you guys are playing pretty well on the road.
Yes, but there's an 8-game losing streak in front of that 0-2 that scared a lot of us, myself included. You and I were complaining constantly.
Oh,
Try
yeah.
being from St. Louis. We're 1-19 in our series, and we're down. So yeah,
But you did have this major 12-game win streak going into the playoffs.
that was nice.
And
That
you
was
have.
nice.
Can you tell me this story about this bobblehead thing, bobblehead
God.
voodoo doll thing that I've seen on social media? No one's explained it to me.
I think the greatest thing about St. Louis is like if you ask somebody to explain even like Gloria a couple years ago, like it's like one of those things that I'm not really sure. Like John Hamm did this really funny explanation of trying to explain like St. Louis sports fans in general, right? And part of it is like there's just no explanation on some of it. It's like Gloria ended up like just picking up at like a couple of the games. Really? I'm always really loud. Gloria ended up picking up at a couple of the games, and before you know it, that was like the anthem. And this bobblehead thing, I think they actually just started like giving them out, right? And then it just like totally took off. It's St. Louis is St. Louis is fiercely loyal as a city like that. So something goes, and like we will just we're bandwagoners, like hardcore. So
I think that's the case with all the teams. I mean, we're still singing Creed's Higher every chance
It
we
is
get.
true.
yes, and nobody can anybody explain where that started?
It started
With
in
the
the locker
mariachi
room.
band.
It started in the locker room of the World Series.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
pitchers.
In the playoffs,
In the
right
playoffs.
before.
Yep.
Yeah.
The pitchers were not pitching well, and that was their hype song. And then it spread to the team, and then it became like the Texas Rangers song to get them through the World Series. Then Creed started going on tour,
They are on tour.
and then
Are
the
they really?
mariachi band played
I was gonna
them.
say I forgot about the locker room so hard
Yeah.
because the mariachi band
Yeah.
stood out so much.
I remember the mariachi band, so I didn't know, but like that's how Gloria was in St. Louis, right? It was like some hype song and then before you knew it, it was every single game, like every single like fan was just singing Gloria. It
And
was
now they're
insane.
playing it at Stars games as our like rally song, and I guess it worked.
I mean, y'all did look good last night.
They paused Pantera for a second, and now they're doing that. So
You guys looked good last night. It was a good game to watch.
It was fast. I haven't seen a
fast.
game with that momentum in a while. I haven't been able to hear a crowd. Like I remember I would go to some games. I'm like, why is it so quiet here? MSG would never do this to me. I would not be able to hear the players from the ice at this place. But they were running, they were skating, they were just shoving people around. It was fantastic.
Wait, so am I allowed to ask questions as a Dallas fan? How do like this Luka thing? Like, are
Oh
people?
my gosh, are we having
all
therapy?
right.
Excuse me, hang on.
Hey, can I ask you
We've
which
already had this.
wine would pair with that trade?
Oh. you just have like the
To-
backward swill where you just
Yeah,
dump it
okay,
in a
my
barrel.
bad.
That's Luka.
No,
Bless you.
no.
No, because it caught people off guard, right? Legitimately, like this was like a okay. All right. Well, anyway, didn't mean to bring up a sore subject.
No,
but-
no, we have openly, ongoingly, and it's still a talk. It's it's definitely a sore subject, especially how this Mavs season ended up ending, right?
Yeah, I can tell you the Luka trade we all thought was a joke initially, and the fact that we were already drunk when we got that notification didn't help because it hit at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Oh yeah, we were all trapped.
We were very drunk,
Yeah.
very drunk. Like he was at my place. We were having a watch party for wrestling. Yeah, the Royal Rumble. It was the night of the Royal Rumble. That's why I remember it.
Okay.
And I was the one that read the alert to the crowd, and everyone's like, "You're just making this up. You're kidding." And then everyone else's phones started going off, and
It was real.
Yeah, it
My
was
husband told me about
awful.
it the next morning, and I laughed at him. I was like, "Yeah, right. Like, isn't he like your Dirk? Like, you don't trade your
You would
Dirk,
think.
right? Like, I thought that was just like he was gonna like be here forever."
But Nico said it himself. He didn't know how much Luka meant to the city. I'm like,
how did that
doesn't
I
seem
call it
right.
BS.
That doesn't seem right.
That's
but like,
BS.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
But if that's true, I can understand why that would happen if you don't know. But like, how do you not know?
I don't buy it.
Tim Cato reported yesterday that Patrick Dumont, the CEO, is now like at odds with Nico because he felt like he didn't have all the information before signing off on the trade.
What do you mean have all the?
No, well, this is a non.
He
I
had
will
enough
kinda agree
information
with
to
that.
know Luka was gonna disappear. What
But they're
more do you need to know?
essentially- They're essentially going to make Nico this like scapegoat,
Yeah.
and Nico's going to be out of a job either at the end of the season
But
or
the other
the
guy
end
had
of
to
next
sign
season.
off, right? The CEO signed off.
Yeah, he had to sign off,
Okay,
and
well,
Oh, well, I mean, I think there's one, you have a non-basketball related group taking over. Two, I mean, obviously there's more than meets the eye
I
there.
forgot about
But
that.
three, I think you see the tickets, how the price is, the backlash. No matter
Season ticket
what,
holders
you're in
pulling
PR.
out, yeah.
You're in PR marketing, you know, and as an owner, like that is not something you want when you have caskets and like disruptions during games. Like it's just nah.
did you see that casket's on sale? The
Really,
casket
the
for-
$3,000 casket.
The casket that they use for the funeral outside the American Airlines Center.
$800 is on Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
I almost bought it.
Oh,
$800.
really? $800.
$800
Wow,
on
that went
Facebook
down real
Marketplace.
quick.
Do you know what he needs to
I
do?
sent the link to the chat. I almost bought it.
He needs to cut it up and make it all official, like get everything graded, because that moment was so like pinnacle, like it was a pinnacle moment in Dallas sports history, and sell it by the piece and make money that way instead of trying to sell a whole
Actually
ass
pretty solid.
coffin.
You should charge for that idea, actually.
Now I do feel like they probably I would buy them not knowing the backlash just because they don't know anything about
I see your
sports.
point. I kind of forgot that, like.
But
I
Nico
feel
should-
stupid.
Nico
like,
knew.
wasn't Cuban supposed to maintain some sort of operational
He
control?
only had
and then there was like
35, 37%.
Yeah, he gave
and
up
so,
a lot.
So they didn't feel the need to clue him in.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. They said Nico himself has said they kept it really, really tight between him, the CEO, and the Adelsons, the owners. So
Well, didn't mean to bring up a sore subject, but like I don't know why we wouldn't ask the guy that like has done fairly well in business and fairly well, like I don't know, with his run and owning the Mavericks. Like that seems like maybe someone we would consult. But anyway,
Nope, not at all. The team that went to the NBA Finals last year got eliminated in the play-in this year on the hinge of us having great defense by trading for Anthony Davis. That Memphis game did not showcase one bit of defense, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it
Guys,
was terrible defense.
well, they have a couple months to practice.
practice.
I'm
You're
like,
talking
we were
about
watching
practice?
this here, and I was like, all right, well, we're no longer 20 down. We're only 10 down. I'm good luck, guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then it was not fine.
Yeah.
No.
It was definitely not fun. I actually got a Fire Nico chant going at the bar I was at.
At the wine bar?
I was at Uptown Pub, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely a little lit, and I just yelled Fire Nico, and then it turned into a chant.
Well, you guys have what? The draft is this week, so you guys have like hopes for the Cowboys again, maybe? There's plus. That's a plus.
What I have, how I frame it for myself is this is going to be how I know what direction this team is going. So I feel like I'm on an island right now, and I don't know what Jerry Jones is thinking. He's just on his yacht, living his best life. They're talking to players, whatever. But as soon as that pick comes in, I'm going to know the entire mindset for the season. And either I'm going to be
You start pounding bottles of wine and liquor, or like you
Probably.
could start celebrating and
I
like
don't
be
know if
ready
I'm-
to actually be a Cowboys fan again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be in that headspace to celebrate, but at least I'm going to know what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
It's okay. The Packers let me down every year in their drafts, and then like I feel like for like 15 years, I look at it and I'm like, we really needed this, and then like 6 months in, I'm like, okay, I see your point. I was wrong.
And-
So I like eat my words every single year.
And y'all are in such a tough division as well.
Oh yeah, but I love their like they have this strategy where they like basically train both of their lines, right, to be able to play multiple positions, which I really love because then we don't get in the right like where the Cowboys get stuck when. Oh my God, who am I thinking of was hurt?
Zach Martin
Thank
got
you.
everybody
Yeah,
getting
like,
hurt.
well, yeah,
Literally
but, like,
everybody hurt.
Our
Yep.
line is able to shift and adjust a lot easier. Like, is it great? No, but it drives me nuts because we prioritize those types of draft picks. But I do like that we have become kind of like the quintessential, like if you want to know where like to get a linesman that is versatile and flexible and can hold their ground, like you're going to Green Bay, which I really like.
What do you think Green Bay's going to do, and what do you want them to do?
You're now
I
ruining
just
her
get-
day.
I get heartbroken every time. See, the wine that goes with that is this thing that we have called the Queen's Way right now that just lets
Oh.
me
They just
down.
tried it, yes.
Yeah, I have really high hopes for it every time because it's supposed to be this like. Anyway, it lets me down every time. Not that it's not bad. It's
They liked it, so.
yeah, it has its moments, but I really would love for us to focus on. I would love to see a couple more linebackers. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like just shoring up the middle would be really, really helpful. And I miss the days of. I don't remember the. Oh yeah, of course you do. Your sports Legion of Boom, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I loved like those days when it was just like unstoppable. Like you couldn't get past Seattle secondary. Like I would love for us to get shored up in that way so that we could really leverage our line because our lines are pretty strong. But I don't know what they're gonna do. But I don't know. Last year I really wanted, or 2 years ago, like I was begging for receivers. I didn't like our picks, and now I'm obsessed with them. So I clearly like. I just joined a dynasty league because I'm like trying to learn.
Welcome
Speaking
to
of
my
her
world.
language.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
trying to learn how to actually like, you know what I mean? Like, what do I want to draft and what do I want to pay attention? It changes the way you watch.
It really
football.
does.
It's like totally a different experience. Like,
So after 6 seasons, I won my first dynasty championship.
Congratulations.
congrats,
Thank you.
Good high five.
That was a very strong high
congrats,
five. I love
congrats. What do you
Yes.
look for when you draft?
that. Well, it just depends on how my current team is shaping up. So I
Okay,
actually
if like the best person available is available, and you have 3 quarterbacks, and he's a quarterback, are you taking him anyway as trade bait though? Because that's where I get stuck. Or are
So
you
I'm in
picking something else?
I'm in a super flex league, which means we get to play 2
you get to-
quarterbacks.
yeah,
So if I
okay.
can take a quarterback, I'm going to
You're
take a
taking him.
quarterback. And what I was
Okay.
going to say is I actually just traded away Dak Prescott for a first round pick in this upcoming draft.
I traded him last year actually for the same reason. I love Dak, but I love Dak. He's like best franchise quarter. It's killing me.
No,
in
it was great.
Dynasty.
I had Dak and CD at the same time for a hot minute, and I after Dak got hurt, I was like, yeah, I can't do this long term. That's the other thing about Dynasty. You figure out who you want to commit to long term and who you don't.
Ooh.
And as you're cycling through your seasons, and whether you're a playoff contender or you're a bottom feeder, whatever you are, you're thinking about the next 2-3 years at all times. You're not just thinking about win now, and that's why I think I fell in love with dynasty over regular fantasy football.
Interesting. Do you have any advice for like I get stuck in like picking players that I want for my team so that I can simultaneously cheer for
I'm
both
a
of them?
Cowboys fan. I don't like
So
doing
you,
that.
yeah, okay, that's good. See, that's good to know.
No,
Just
I
have learned to
actually
let go.
I actually would tell you don't draft your own team favorite
Okay,
team
that's
player.
good to know. Okay.
Being emotionally attached hinders your
It makes
decision
it hard.
making.
It does. I've noticed that.
Don't be
People make
emotional.
They make me good trade offers, and I'm like, oh, but I think Christian Watson's going to actually catch the ball this weekend. Maybe
Remember,
he's going to actually catch it.
Kate, this is a fantasy.
Oh,
so it's your
that's
team.
really good advice. I love that.
What would you do? What is your dream? Your dream is to win. This is your fantasy coming true. Follow your fantasy, not your actual real life.
And if you do it, you'll
really
have bragging rights over so many people.
Oh, I know.
That'll fuel you for days.
Our GM is in that league. One of our best friends is in that league. We have a couple of really good friends in that league, and it's painful. It is painful. When
We
the
should
draft
do a draft, a fantasy league draft up here.
Yeah, we could. We should totally do it.
do that.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun.
That would be
Absolutely bring my neighborhood ladies.
That'd be so much fun.
I think
Taking her
there's
here.
more females that play fantasy and are getting more into like Connie and I can have like legit like conversations about who we're drafting and like sometimes I feel like they're
And the thing is, it makes me really excited, though, that more people are getting interested in it. So, for example, my sister just did her first league ever this past year, and she felt so strongly about it. She was like, I'm not going to let my boyfriend draft for me. I have to do it myself. She got second place.
that's amazing.
First time
Congrats
ever,
to
yeah.
her.
Good for
I was
her.
so I started playing fantasy football in college, and after I graduated, I had a whole new group of friends, girlfriends, and none of them had ever played before. So my fantasy league that I started was originally women only. So the first
I
like
like that.
3-ish seasons was just women. And now Charlie's in the league. It's actually now 50-50 men and
Heck yeah.
females because, things happen or whatnot. But I loved being able to teach all my girlfriends
Did
at
they
that
know
time.
about it, or were you like the?
Nope, I was their intro into it.
Okay.
Like, yes, they watched football before. I literally had one friend at that time who drafted based on like how cute guys were. She actually did pretty well for the record.
Okay, Mia, if you're that's our friend.
We all have that one
Yeah,
friend.
that's our friend Mia.
And
She still wants to draft Gronk.
oh no,
We keep trying to tell her that he's not an option anymore. And
No,
she
not
still looks
anymore.
for Gronk, but yeah.
and my younger sister, our first draft, she never really watched football. She had never played before. Somehow this girl drafted 3 punters that first time, and now she's really good at fantasy football. It's been like 5 or 6 years, but she's really good now.
What I'm hearing is you're making the world a better, more educated place.
I think I'd like to think that. I like, those are my services I offer.
There are times, though, I mean, you get like a Justin Tucker in there, a couple games, like, he'll get you 15 points if he's,
Or
just
they'll
kinda
lose
depends.
you a game. Like think about
Oh, yeah,
how
that happens too.
unreliable kickers were this past season.
Oh, yeah, it's been brutal. What is that, though? Like, because, like, I'm super curious. I don't remember that being the case, like, 15 years ago. Like, extra points. You never really had to worry about a kicker missing an extra point, and then like the last 2 or 3 years,
They
I mean,
moved
I know
it.
they moved it back, but okay, let's be honest. 5 yards is not going to you don't shank 30% more of your kicks for 5 yards, do you? I mean, I don't know.
I think teams are getting smarter with the way that they're attacking. From like a defensive standpoint, like the way they're
That's
lining
interesting.
up. So the looks that the kickers are getting are different. Of course, you've got like being in an indoor stadium versus an outdoor stadium. You got wind, weather, all of that stuff has always been a thing. But I really think teams are honing in on special teams in a way that they weren't before. Thank you, analytics.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing more blocked kicks and you're seeing more routine failures at the kicking position.
I feel like I see a lot more shanks than I ever and that just blows my mind. I'm like, there's no way 5 yards made you just but then Justin Tucker, I watched this special with him a couple of years ago, and it was sometimes there's just this head block that gets to you. That
Yeah,
you
it's the
had,
yips.
and it's I don't know, it's just, it's fascinating to me to think about though.
Well, I mean, we're super excited for the draft. We're super excited for fantasy. Just kind of peeling real quick back, and we do appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with us, have us here. We're gonna enjoy more wine. We're gonna enjoy this
Yeah, we gotta eat
beautiful
this.
spread. The pretzel, because we are salty about that Luka trade. But we'll muster
done.
through it. Anyways,
Drink.
That was pretty good. I will drink to that.
He's here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
I will be. I'm invited. So going back to hockey, obviously we both talked about. We'll be honest, both most must-wins in our game twos. How are you feeling moving forward? What is your confidence level? Also, outside, who do you like outside of
Y'all are about
obviously your own team?
Y'all are about to play at home now too.
If we go home for 2, but again, we are like 1-19 when we go down 0-2. So from an analytics perspective, as someone who is highly data-driven, does not look good. But that is the one thing about St. Louis fans. Like, you could tell us that we're definitely going to lose, and we're still going to be out there cheering our asses off and having butts off and having a blast. And so I'm still super hopeful. I think it could happen, but I do fall back to the Stars. If they can get Robertson back and they can drag this series out, I think they'll actually be okay. If they can get past this one, I think we have a hard road ahead, even if we can get past the Jets. I think Bennington, though, is just, God, he looks good. I mean,
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think is your team's biggest strength, and what is their biggest weakness?
when Bennington is on, I feel like we were just, our defense was, something's not clicking right? I mean, we had the 5-hole completely open last night. Bennington lost a stick at one point. No clue what the hell happened there. I'm sure there's some answer on that. I haven't watched SportsCenter today because I'm too sad about it. But, like, why that was wide the hell open, no clue, especially when we're only losing by 1, right? Like, that's super painful to watch. But then the first goal was, I mean, we had a defender in the net too. I mean, so there's just something that's not clicking right that needs to get there. But I will say, God, when that unit works well together, it is beautiful to watch. And I know I'm, like, obviously biased, but God, I just love, and I don't think hockey is, like, I've never been a defensive, right? But I really love watching them when they are on. So
I feel like the Stars' biggest weakness is that they don't hit enough.
Yeah.
Last night they finally started hitting people.
Yes.
they did. And it was fun to watch.
It's so much more fun when they're skating fast and hitting hard. That is when they're at their best.
And I will say it's nice to be able to watch St. Louis and then the Stars, because both games or both nights have been, like, teed up perfectly. So, and I will say they're hitting the shit out of each other in our series right now. Like I said, like, average of 20 to 25 hits. They were at 80-something.
Jeez, that's my dream.
I mean, it's insane. But, like, some of them are really harsh. Like, I was watching them and I'm like, oh, ow, that looks painful. I mean, some of them are wussy, but, you know. They were actually, it hasn't been a good solid fight yet, though.
Well, I'll be here Thursday watching the games with you because we have draft.
Yes.
It'll be a day.
Oh my God. Does that mean I have to wear a Cowboys t-shirt and a Stars jersey to wherever I end up for?
We'll get you a couple koozies,
Yes.
too.
We're a half and half.
Yes.
Sunglasses, you got
I
some
have
options.
some leggings I can bring you.
I just got the cutest Dallas Stars hat from Target. It's white and it says DAL in black and green on the front.
That's
It's
cute.
really, really cute.
I'm loving this jacket, too. I
Oh,
feel like we
thank
could get
you.
you some swag. I could, like, bedazzle this with a Waters Edge logo on the back and maybe a Stars logo on the front.
It's
or
a
something.
Cowboys
Oh, it is
jacket.
Cowboys. Well, so
Isn't
we'll
it
put Stars
Dallas
on this
Cowboys?
side for you.
Oh yeah, love this.
So just in case, you know, the Cowboys do their cowboy thing, you can have the Stars. I think they look good. I will say, I will deny my husband would never. I think the Stars have a good chance. I think they.
Well, we appreciate that. You're wearing the
can-
Stars, kind of greenish out there. So thank you.
I really think I haven't given up. If we come back, we'll be fine. But, like, we're gonna hurt, right?
Can I ask you a quick question? Because we asked Connie with the draft, like, what wine pairs with the draft or football? What wine pairs with hockey?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is good. Now I'm super curious to know what Connie said, but I would say it's like a dark red, only because, like, I really love when they do start hitting each other and getting physical, and, like, you know, you knock a couple teeth out, you got a couple.
The wine will hide the blood.
Bloody noses, like, it's fine, right? Like, you can drink red. I hate, like, we have these teeth stain prevention wipes in the bathrooms because I'm a weirdo like that. So if
No,
anybody
that's a
needs
thing.
those, right? Yeah, those are a thing in our bathrooms. But I feel like at a hockey game, like, if I'm going to pair something with hockey, my teeth can be as red as I want because half those guys don't have teeth and they got to get them fixed anyway, right? And if you're going to punch somebody, have at it, right? Like,
I am a rowdy fan, period. But
Yeah.
the person I turn into when I walk through the doors at American Airlines Center, I don't know her. Like, she's completely different.
Wait, that's just MMA, Rayya.
No, hockey Rayya is way worse than MMA
Yeah.
Rayya. Like,
oh, really?
Way worse.
Okay, so if you have a choice to go to, like, an MMA fight or a hockey game, like playoff hockey game, which one are you
I'm
going
gonna
to?
pick hockey.
You are, okay.
Because chances are the UFC card is going to let me down, as it has been all year.
And it's better
So
when
sorry,
you
Uncle Dana.
don't know somebody sometimes, too. I mean, obviously, love the players, but you're not
So
like.
here's the thing: UFC will have 11 fights on the card, and I love that. That's great, but there's a chance that 7 to 10 of them will go into decision, and I'm going to be really, really tired by the time that main event hits. With hockey, I know you get 20 minutes straight of action at a time, and then don't get me started on overtime. So,
Hey, at least we broke that curse.
well,
You did.
yes,
That was
we
a
So-
good
did.
one. No, but I think a solid, I would say like a deeper, we have a good Malbec right now. And like, Connie and I have talked about this. I feel like hockey is one of the best, like, if I'm going to pick a sporting event to go to in person, right? Like, sometimes I feel like football is like, I can't seem to get my head around, like, what's all happening. The field is actually a lot wider in person than I realized. I don't know about y'all. Like, my first football game, I was like, it looks like it's as wide as it is long, which I know is not true, but it was just
It
much
is big, yeah.
It's much bigger. Like, hockey to me is something where I can still go. I can see the entire ice, right? Like, I can see everything. I don't feel like I'm missing it. I don't know. There's just something about like being in person at a hockey game, and
It's
I think
unreal.
like growing up as kids, we had like my dad had these season tickets, and we were at like the second row, and the guys behind us had 4 tickets, and they were hardcore Blackhawks fans, and so it was just like the debauchery and the shit talking, but it's like clean shit talking, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
really
buying each other
respectful.
beers.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like super. I don't know. It's healthy, right? And I feel like hockey has just always had that really clean rivalry, like. I don't know. Like, if I'm going to go to something, I was just curious. Like, being an MMA, like, MMA feels to me like a lot of action. Like, hockey to me just feels like, I don't know, it's the best thing in the world to me. I don't know.
Well, I am looking forward to the rest of the games. I'm going to come here and watch some games. I'm
I hope
obsessed
so.
Oh, hell yeah.
with what you've done with this place. The menu is amazing. The space is amazing. I mean, you have so many TVs. There's not a bad seat in the house. And also, where did you get these couches? They look so cozy.
Right? A lot of
They
auction
are.
sites.
Nice.
No, but we tried to be pretty intentional. So it was a place like Connie and I could come, right? That was still wine and friendly, but like a place where we wanted to be. So I don't know. That was kind of important to us.
And I spent a lot of time on Kate's couch, so she needed to make sure that I have a new couch here.
Yes, we still do spend a lot of time, but I think it's, I don't know, we're trying to do, I think we're still debating as to whether or not we do sound at a couple of the games. I think we've decided we're going to, but that's a hard transition for, I think, some of our clientele and our customers. Like, you guys are a winery, that's not what you do, and it's like, but it still has to feel like us, right?
But that's the thing about you owning the place. We can dictate whatever you want to do. So
That
yes,
is true.
We
You do
love,
own the
we
place.
love our live music, and we have some incredible
too.
musicians. But if there's like a Game 7 on and we don't put the sound on,
Yeah, it's not
I might
happening.
need to quit.
No,
Yeah.
it's not
I was
happening.
going to
Yeah.
say, there is
You
a
should fire me if we have a Game 7 on.
It'll be a
and we do
mutual
not have the
separation.
sound on. Like, we were watching the Mavs game out on the patio the other night. It was so nice. Like, having, like, we had $5 beers and just the Mavs game with the sound. Like, there is something about having the sound on that is nice.
If I can plug Kate's Happy Hour, though, $5 beers, I mean, who does that?
Ooh,
Like,
that's good.
and Sundays, it's all day happy hour. So just get ready for football season, guys.
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
Oh, we're ready. Maybe. But we're ready for that.
Maybe.
We are ready for that.
I was going to say there's a huge void in Dallas. Other cities have one, but a women's sports bar.
That's a thing that exists in places?
It's
don't think
the
I realized
latest
that.
trend.
I
in
remember
sports bar
Connie
stuff.
telling me about this, but, like, I don't think...
The
Like, I'm
number-
from St. Louis, and St. Louis is a really good sports town, and I don't feel like I am aware of this. Like,
The number of women's sports bars has quadrupled in the last year in the United States, with cities like Austin, Boston, Seattle, Portland, New York, all having these. It's not just to watch women's sports, for the record. It's
Yeah.
a place for women a safe place for women to go watch sports and really enjoy themselves. Could you envision yourself being that bar for the city of Dallas?
God, I would. So I'm the type of person like Connie, like when I watch sports, right? It typically turns into like me throwing things at a TV, like that, like mostly during Packers games, right? Because like hockey is pretty fast paced and baseball's too slow paced. I'm not like throwing anything, but if I'm watching a good Packers game, like it can get a little dangerous. I would love for that. That's a super good question. I think that'd be a super cool thing to do on Sundays.
Yeah,
I think like football is just like our entire friend group, right? Everyone we know, like I mean, like we are just all like such hardcore football fans, right? Like, and we actually have there's a girls fantasy league, right? Our friend Chandra runs it, and like they love it. We have our dynasty leagues. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Connie?
So I think that it's a great idea, and I'm going to go back to this whole safe space to watch sports thing, but Kate is so intentional and such an includer that it would not just be a women's sports bar. She's so familial. Everyone's going to bring their families. Sometimes people bring their kids. The kids menu is named after me. It's the Connie's Kids menu. So like, I don't know if we have the opportunity to do that and just cater to that specific crowd when there's so many things that we love about Dallas and the sports that we love here. However, as far as safe spaces to watch sports,
yes,
the amount of times that I have walked into a bar and they're like, you don't see too many women watching sports by themselves, or like, do you know anything about this game? Name 5 players that you like.
And they can't be hot.
That's not going to be the space that we're going to have here. We're going to have the game. What game do you want to see on? Do you have other people coming with you? That's kind of the vibe that I think you can expect here. And just like I said earlier, like you can only eat nachos and wings so often before you want something that our incredible chef and our incredible back of house kitchen have made to prepare for you to do that while you yell at the TV, because honestly, those pretzels are kind of too good to eat and throw at the TV anyways.
But I think to your point, we have been intentional. Like the $5 beers on Sundays, we're very much set up to cater to like our Sunday. Like, I'm not a late night drinker anymore. Like
I don't think a lot of us are.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Like Sunday fun day, and like watching football, waking up in the morning, and like I really love the London games that they're doing, or I guess the UK games in general, right?
Well, like
across
Europe,
the pond.
Yeah. Now we're in Germany.
Yeah, because now I get to watch
things.
Sunday like morning football, right? I do hate that Sam is gone from Sunday Countdown. I don't know if anybody. Like,
yes,
I love Greeny, but I watch Greeny every damn morning.
I agree.
On
I'm
Get
with
Up,
you.
like why can't I have Sam on like? I used to love to watch what Sam was wearing and what her hair looked like, and I actually think she brought a little something that, again, I love Greeny, don't get me wrong, but I watch Greeny every damn morning, literally every morning.
You get
Why
up with
can't
Greeny,
I?
Don't you?
I do. I get up. We record it, right? And so my husband and I, like, we have these little, like, our lunch hour if we're home, which is not often lately, is spent fast forwarding through parts of Get Up, right? But I do think we were intentional about $5 beers on Sundays and trying to create a space where people could like come and drink wine. Jancy, another one of our good friends, is like hardcore sports fan, right? Like you cannot catch her not in her sports gear, but biggest wine drinker ever. And I don't think there's a place where you can get a ton of good wines and watch sports. So I don't know about the all women's thing, because like I feel like
you're an includer.
Yeah, but maybe.
You can be
maybe
inclusive,
you're right.
but
Maybe
you would
that is
say,
something
like,
we need to do.
women can come here, it's safe and whatever. But
no, you're right. Maybe that is something we need to do.
It's all in the messaging, guys.
So final
background.
question here, and then we're gonna enjoy some wine. We're gonna enjoy some food here. Where can they find you guys?
Yes.
Social medias.
Social media.
I can take this one. So we are on Facebook at Waters Edge Winery, no underscore, and on Instagram as Waters Edge Winery _Dallas. Our website is wew.wine/Dallas, and you can find our events there. We have a great ticketed event coming up on May the 4th Be With You specials. That will be a completely different menu than our normal menu. We've got live music, and honestly, if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, we post all of our weekly events every Thursday morning so that you know what to expect in case you're a planner like me. And we're having fun out there. We have some really great food that we want to highlight, but also we have some really fun personalities that we're also trying to take advantage of as well. So, and we'll find you guys in there too.
And women in sports too.
All the things. And I'm so glad.
We do. I am excited for Caitlin and I'm sorry, Beakers. What's her name?
Paige
sorry. For next year too, because I have decided I am now a women's fan.
Welcome to the family.
Hardcore, so those games will very likely be on. So
all summer.
Yeah,
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yeah,
we'll come wing it with you.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Drink.
All
right. Well, thank you guys for having us again. The hospitality is amazing. The wine flight, as much as I've had. I don't even know. What was this, like, second white? It was so good. It went down so easy.
But it's empty. We need to get you some more. I'm going to go work on that.
Well, yeah. Let's get some more wine. Let's eat some more snacks. Thank you guys again for having us.
Thank
you
so
all
much
for tuning in. We're back at Underdog next Monday for Ladies' Night, right? You're going to be away, so that means I get to play.
Be away.
Just us girls.
Just us girls and Tanner.
It's like Three's Company.
Oh,
That's
goodness.
right.
Oh, goodness. Well,
we really appreciate you guys coming.
Have a great night. Cheers, y'all.
I didn't want to say anything at the end, so I was like, let's get some back. Oh, that's pretty out. That means